Are you a travel nurse? Do you want to be a travel nurse? Do you want to just travel as a nurse and take your profession with you within the country and not have to deal with the rigmarole, the frustration of getting a new license, taking a new test, dealing with the nurse, the board of the state boards of whatever state you're moving to? Of course you don't want to deal with any of that BS. You as a nurse, and nursing is a profession where you should be able to go from one state to the next and just treat the human body like you did in the state prior. Yes, of course, I am not, delusional, and I do know that in certain states there's a certain type of population, and yes, you should go through the specific education that you need to go through to be aware of what that certain population's illnesses are, risk factors are, all of that good stuff. Yes, I'm aware, but you should not have to do the paperwork of going through the licensing board and all of this stuff that you had to do when you first became a nurse. It's horrendous. It's the worst thing ever. And hopefully one day, all 50 states, you'll be able to get your license in one state and practice in the country, practice in the country, just going from one border to the next without jumping through some hoops. And how is this going to happen? I'm happy you asked. The NLC. The NLC, the Nursing Licensure Compact, is an agreement between states that allows nurses to have one license, but the ability to practice in other states that are part of the agreement. So just a little bit of background on what the and how this was formed. The original NLC was first developed in 2000, and by 2015, it had grown to include 25 states. Goals were developed for every state to become a member of the NLC, but there were resistance from some states regarding the requirements for the licensure, and that's the reason it stayed at 25 states. But in recent past, most recently, on January 19, 2018, the new and improved Enhanced Nursing Licensure Compact, or ENLC, was implemented. This enhanced compact speaks to those requirements that were all borderline, because the certain states that didn't want to join the NLC said, no, our requirements, there's specific requirements we have for our state that we just not going to budge on. And if you want to come to our state as a nurse, you need to complete those requirements before you can practice as a nurse. This enhanced NLC is trying to fix that issue, right? And already it has 4 states, Massachusetts, my home state, already pending to become part of the NLC. And I think this is good news. I do believe as a nurse, if you get your license in America, if you're educated here in the States, and if you are licensed in one of the 50 states of America, you should be able to practice in all of them. And this is the pathway to that. Those pending states that are going to be part of the NLC in the near future, hopefully, are Indiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, and New Jersey. I think this is good news. This is good news for the states. This is good news for us nurses. This is helpful because now we travel nurses, or just nurses that want to move and groove and go from one state to the next, or if you live on the border of one state and work in another, you don't have to get your license in one state and deal with the frustration of getting re-licensed in the state that you just live 5 feet from. So I think this is good news. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys were informed or educated in any way, shape, or form by these stories, please hit that like button. If you liked my presentation of the news, I really suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time Q the Nurse drops some hot, fresh press news. Thank you. Catch you next week. Deuces.